Alright, folks, we are now here to watch the SMG4 WOTFI 2025 series. And keep this in mind, folks. In 2 more weeks, WOTFI 2025 is coming out. So keep that in mind, okay? Now, anyway, where was I again? Oh, yes, we're going to be watching the new no fear that got over like 100k likes. 1k likes, what you want to call it. I'm not freaking surprised. But this says Mr. Puzzles WOTFI 2025. It's about time. Literally, SMG4 theory. Now, oh dear lord, about yesterday. Oh my gosh. Yesterday, folks, we watched a new episode of SMG4. Saw, by the way, keep in mind. And oh my gosh, I am not surprised. And my big question is, how did he get that YouTube remote? That's my other thing as well. You know, we may not, let me explain. So, we will not have a new SMG4 episode next Saturday because I already know why. That remote. Not the remote, that freaking trailer. Which is supposed to be on a Wednesday, not a Saturday. I mean, they did this like almost last year, so I mean, I'm not surprised either. So, it is what it is, I guess. Like, it is what it is. I mean, I know they have to give it more time because of, you know, how long the episode will be. So, makes sense. But now we're going to be watching No Noise Theory about this and see how this is going to go. My big question is, how did he get that YouTube remote? That's my big question. Or was he the... Like, another thing I want to talk about is... You know what? I will explain that on the trailer reaction. So anyway, let's see what he has to say. Here we go.
Hey all, NULL here. Sorry about the ASMR voice, but I will be quiet. So remember how I was making tons of theories about WOTFI 2025 involving the demonic goop? Well, never mind all that, because the YouTube remote from the YouTube Arc from 2020 is back as the main MacGuffin.
5 years later, keep in mind.
That plot device is now at the centre of this whole story.
Like, bro, it's been 5 years when that YouTube remote was around.
Right in the middle of the events of the WOTFI 2025 arc, with absolutely no build-up whatsoever. So I have just as many questions as you do.
My big focus is they're going to be in WOTFI 2025.
October 25th. So let's begin unpacking this ginormous lore drop. First of all, we are missing some crucial context about the story, as Soul Search begins with Mr. Puzzles already having become obsessed with finding the key, as he describes it, which we later learn is the YouTube remote. We can be confident that the YouTube remote is the key he was obsessing over, as a silhouette of the YouTube remote can be seen in Mr. Puzzles' lair, hidden behind the logo of the Internet Archive, which is where Mr. Puzzles ultimately finds the YouTube remote, which basically confirms that the YouTube remote is the key. I guess after Susan left YouTube, the remote was handed over to the archive. But back to the main topic. The episode
but Susan passed away too, keep in mind, rest in peace.
Find puzzles, even though we didn't see them searching for puzzles in the previous episode they had appeared in. So we can assume that it will be explained in WOTFI 2025 as to why Puzzles became interested in finding the YouTube remote.
Yes.
Why Weapons and are after Puzzles.
That's what I really want to know.
What the Puzzles plans to do with the remote. However, there is a lot of clues that could point us in the right direction. I believe that all the evidence points towards Mr. Puzzles wanting to use the remote in order to time travel back into the past in order to right his wrongs. And not just to undo his betrayal of Mr. Weapons, but maybe to fix all of his past wrongdoings, maybe stretching all the way back to what he was responsible for in the It's Gotta Be Perfect movie where everything began. Yes, that's right. I would like to see that. Time travel. So thankfully, It will likely
If it's
be
time
very
travel,
different
I'm
to the
in.
events of WOTFI 2020.
I would definitely
Moreover,
like to see that.
Mr. Puzzles isn't motivated
I mean, it's
by
been
any
like 5 or
evil
6.
intentions
Well,
this
it's been like
time
5
around,
years
so
since
it's
the
unlikely
SMG4
to
YouTube
attempt
blog was
a
around,
revenge
so I do give
plan
him that.
like in WOTFI 2024. The evidence
Gosh,
for
it's been
time
so
travel
long.
goes beyond the return of the rewind-capable
But
YouTuber
this could be
and
a
Mr.
choice.
Puzzles'
This could be.
constant
This
mentioning
could
of
be.
wanting to
This
right
could
his
be.
wrongs.
This
The
could be.
episode takes place within the Internet Archive, which hosts the well-known Wayback Machine tool that allows you to visit older iterations of websites. Moreover,
Yes.
there's a scene earlier in the episode where SMG4 talks about going back to the basics, and while in the archives, SMG4 searches for old YouTube videos. So I'm 100% confident that WOTFI 2025 will be themed around time travel and will involve travelling back to previous events in the SMG4 series, which essentially means going back to
I
old
mean,
YouTube
true,
videos.
but the
As for
sad
what
thing
Mr.
is that
Weapons had
Melody
to
and
search
Psycho
for
did not
skeleton,
really know
I
all
think
of
Mr.
this, to
Puzzles
be honest.
probably
Except they got
intentionally lied
brainwashed
to
in
himself.
WOTFI 2024,
After
but that's
all,
the only
his
time we
ultimate
saw
goal is
them
to
in
make
there.
it up to them. So what the hell is even going to happen in WOTFI 2025?
That's
Actually,
my
start
question,
there.
yes.
What the hell is WOTFI 2025 even going to be? It's 2 weeks away and there has been no call for challenge submissions.
Yes.
So my best guess is that we're either going back to the WOTFI 2023 formula of community selected story decisions which influence the ending, or they have come up with some new formula for WOTFI that is yet to be revealed. Either way, a trailer for WOTFI is highly likely either next Wednesday or next Saturday. There is unlikely to
Probably
be
gonna
another
be next
SMG4 episode
Saturday.
next Saturday, since we likely would not have
Yeah,
gotten the
it's gonna be
announcement
next
for
Saturday,
WOTFI at the end
mostly.
of Soul Search if that episode was not the penultimate episode before WOTFI. Soul Search also just felt like a penultimate episode with the ending cliffhanger. But anyways, what will
Thanks,
happen
Kevin.
in WOTFI
Appreciate it.
2025? Well, first of all, I feel like there are some loose plot threads yet to be brought into the story that I'm pretty confident will be addressed. Those plot threads are the Death Cube's hunt for Mr. Puzzles, Karen and the kids' role, the origins of Toomp, and the fate of Princess Peach. I think
Yes.
WOTFI 2025 will involve travelling back to different key events in the SMG4 series history, or at the very least, back to every key event throughout the 3-year-long Mr. Puzzles story. Which
Yeah.
would be more fitting
Yes.
as the story of WOTFI will be focused around Mr. Puzzles, and assuming this is the final Mr. Puzzles arc, revisiting every previous arc he's been involved in would be rather fitting for a conclusion to his story. Naturally, the Guns and Puzzles, Science of the Cats, and It's Gotta Be Perfect movies would be included as stops in this time travel plot. During the stop in time to the Guns and Puzzles movie, we will likely see the Death Cube reappear as Mr. Puzzles attempts to undo his betrayal of Mr. Weapons.
Hopefully,
For whatever
yes.
reason, the SMG4 crew and Weapons of the future will try to stop Puzzles. Next, we would see Puzzles try to fix what Weapons did in Science of the Cats, hoping that fixing Weapons' relationship with his family would regain Weapons' trust. But since Weapons was able to move on from
But
the
Karen
stuff
ain't gonna
with his
forgive
family,
him,
we
mostly.
can assume
You know what
Weapons
happened
will
back in
oppose
Science
Mr.
of the
Puzzles
Cats.
meddling in his past affairs with Karen and the kids. We will then later see Mr. Puzzles attempt to undo the events of It's Gotta Be Perfect, which would effectively end
Hopefully
all of his
so.
future schemes and betrayals if he successfully stops his past self. Not only is it here that we might see the origin of the magical keyboard, or at least the origin of how Mr. Puzzles obtained it, but it's also here that we might see Peach return. If Puzzles succeeds in undoing the events of It's Gotta Be Perfect, Peach would be saved, or maybe the events of It's Gotta Be Perfect will still occur, but Peach will be saved from falling into the pit. Either way, I think It's Gotta Be Perfect is where the final showdown of WOTFI 2025 will take place, and I believe the SMG4 crew and Weapons will fight to stop Puzzles from undoing the events of the Puzzle Vision saga, because it was important for their character growth or something like that, I don't know. And maybe what will convince Puzzles to end his time shenanigans is Toomp. Toomp might be the key, because if my theory that Toomp is a part of the demonic goop is correct, this means that the events of It's Gotta Be Perfect must happen so that Toomp can be born, assuming he was created by splitting from the demonic goop pit that was
True.
unleashed by SMG4's activation of the demonic keyboard. This will convince Puzzles to stop meddling with the past and to come to terms with what he had done. I'm assuming that his character arc will involve him learning to treasure the present and do everything he can now, rather than stressing about what he has done in the past. The creation of Toomp would also show that not everything he has been responsible for has been bad. Alright boys, that's all I can muster in terms of theories for this insane episode. But to recap, time travel WOTFI, no fan submitted challenges, Puzzles trying to rectify his past mistakes by returning to all previous Puzzle Vision Saga events, Death Key boss battle when revisiting Guns and Puzzles, final battle set at It's Gotta Be Perfect where everything began, origin for Magical Keyboard and Toomp, Mr. Puzzles learns to focus on the present, where assumedly he will finally make up with Mr. Robinson Toomp by talking to
like he said, he's going to fix everything. That's what he said as well.
Scheme in order to easily fix everything, and lastly, Peach is saved or something. I guess I should also address whether Mr. Puzzles will die or not. I'm leaning towards him not dying due to his popularity and the likeliness that he will go through some character arc to improve himself, but I'm not ruling out the possibility that he dies in a heroic sacrifice to save somebody after going through his character arc.
Yes, so, okay, thank you for mentioning that, so, yeah. So, if it's going to be, I did not even notice this, but if this is going to be a WOTFI time travel since Mr. Puzzles have the YouTube remote, this could be really surprising. Like, I'm not kidding, this could be a good start of WOTFI 2025 if they're going to have that remote. Seriously, they will. They're probably going to be having that remote. They're going to have that remote. And there is no joke. They're really going to put that on the remote. They're going to actually do that. Who knows? Like, give it 2 more weeks. And then we'll see. Now, I do agree what NULL said about some of these, by the way. Because if it's a WOTFI time travel, I would give him that. But my big issue for next Saturday is going to probably be that trailer, which is going to be on should have been on a Wednesday, not a Saturday, but, you know, it is what it is. I just don't want to bitch and complain after what happened last year with that, so, oh well, it is what it is. But anyway, guys, maybe if he goes back in time with, from the past few years, like the past 2 years since 2023 and that, this could be a really, great decision surprise. Like, this could be a good surprise if it's a chance. If we have that chance to happen. If this actually happens, who really knows? If this really actually happens, this could be our lucky chance. The lucky chance to see the time travel of WOTFI 2025. So this could be a chance. This could be the time travel one. Hopefully it could be right, but who knows? Just give it a few more weeks, y'all, and then we'll see the point. Ooh. Alright, folks. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to check out my reaction from yesterday, folks. Keep in mind. But thank you all so much for watching. If you have any thoughts about this, y'all, make sure to leave your comments below. Like, share, comment, subscribe. And as always, folks, let's see what happens very soon. 40K subscribers. Woo!